Welcome students. Today we are going to learn subject Science and Technology Part 2 Standard 9 Lesson Useful and Harmful Microbes video number 5. Before start learning, let us have glance upon what is mean by microbes. The living organisms which cannot be seen with naked eyes but those are present all around us are called microbes. So the microbes are present in the water, air, food, inside and even outside of the body. Microbes are also called as microorganisms. The characteristics of microbes are as follows. Microbes are the prokaryotic cells and forms kingdom Monera. All microbes can be seen with the help of compound microscope except viruses, as the viruses are minute in size as compared to all other microbes. It can be seen with the help of only electron microscope. Electron microscope has more resolution power than compound microscope. Many microbes are useful to us. We use them for our benefits, while some microbes are harmful, which can cause various diseases. In this lesson, we are going to learn about such useful and harmful microbes. Useful microbes like lactobacilli, rhizobium, yeast, penicillium, which is useful in the production of antibiotic, and harmful microbes like fungi, clostridium, and pathogens, that is disease causing microbes. Today we will understand some of the useful microbes in detail. Let us begin with the first useful microbe, lactobacilli. It is one of the important microbe which is involved in the food industry and found in the milk naturally. We can observe the lactobacilli under microscope by using following steps. Smear a drop of fresh buttermilk on a glass slide. Smear means spread the liquid and let it dry. Then stain it with the methylene blue. Methylene blue is an indicator which imparts color to lactobacilli. After this, put a cover slip over it and observe the smear under 10x objective of a compound microscope and then with the more powerful 60x objective. 10x and 60x are the powers of lenses used in the microscope. Then we would able to see the lactobacilli bacteria under compound microscope as shown in the alongside figure. The characteristics of lactobacilli are as follows. As we can observe in the figure below, lactobacilli are rod-shaped and spore-forming bacteria. Lactobacilli are minute in size and they are anaerobic bacteria. They can produce energy without the use of oxygen. That is, they follow anaerobic mode of respiration. Now let's learn use of lactobacilli in yogurt formation. Milk contains lactose sugar, lactobacilli microbes and proteins along with the other constituents of the milk. By the fermentation process, these lactobacilli converts lactose sugar into lactic acid and as a result pH of the milk decreases, causing coagulation of the milk proteins. Coagulation means a liquid turns into solid or semi-solid state. After coagulation, milk proteins are separated from other constituents of the milk and here the milk changes into yogurt. The characteristics of yogurt are yogurt has a specific sour taste due to lactic acid production. Yogurt has a low pH value which is helpful to kill or destroy harmful microbes present in the milk. And this is the only reason why doctors advise us to have yogurt or buttermilk if we have indigestion or abdominal discomfort. By using this application, a new term probiotic is popular nowadays. What is mean by probiotic yogurt and other foodstuffs? The useful microbes like lactobacilli are added to these eatables like yogurt and other foodstuffs. And such eatables becomes healthy as they kill harmful bacteria like Clostridium in the alimentary canal and help to improve our immunity. But sometimes yogurt becomes bitter and froths up. This is because excessive fermentation and more production of lactic acid. Such a yogurt becomes unsuitable for consumption. Now we'll look upon the other uses of lactobacilli. Rather than yogurt, other milk products like buttermilk, ghee, cheese, shrikhand, etc. can be obtained by the fermentation of milk using lactobacilli. Lactobacilli fermentation is useful for the large scale production of cider, coca, pickles, of vegetables, etc. Cider means an alcoholic drink made from the fermented apple juice. Lactobacilli and some other useful microbes taken together are used to treat abdominal discomfort, which is already we have learned. Also, the lactobacilli are involved in the production of leaven fodder, which is offered to the domestic cattle like cows and buffaloes. Leaven fodder means fermented fodder, and fodder means food of cattle. Again, the lactobacilli fermentation process is used to make wine and some types of bread. Now we move forward with the second useful microbe, that is Rhizobium. It is a symbiotic bacteria. Rhizobium occurs in the root nodules of leguminous plants like a fenugreek, groundnut and soybean, etc. Root nodule means a small swelling on a root, as you can see in the alongside figure. One can observe rhizobium by using following steps. First, take a plantlet of fenugreek, groundnut or any other bean and sterilize it with 3 to 5% solution of hydrogen peroxide. Afterwards, keep it in a 70% solution of ethyl alcohol for 4 to 5 minutes. Then clean the roots with the sterile water and take thin sections of the root nodules. After this, select good section and place it in a solution of safranin for 2 to 3 minutes. Here the safranin acts as an indicator. Then place the stained section on a glass slide, cover it with a cover slip and observe it under the compound microscope. We would able to see the pinkish rod shaped microbes under microscope as shown in the following diagram, and these are the Rhizobium bacteria. Let us learn the role and importance of Rhizobium. This is mainly related to the nitrogen fixation process, whichever we have learned while learning nitrogen cycle. Rhizobia living in the root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acids to that plant and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. Such a naturally beneficial relationship is called symbiosis or symbiotic association. Rhizobia produce nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen too. However, for this process of nitrogen fixation, they need leguminous plants like beans, sweet pea, soybean, etc. as the host. Beans and pulses are rich in the proteins due to the nitrogenous compounds made available by Rhizobia. After harvesting of leguminous crop, the leftover roots and other plant parts are deliberately dumped in the farm soil to maintain its bacteria population. The use of Rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby the adverse effects. It has also helped to reduce expenses on fertilizers and thus works to the benefit of farmers. Thank you.